Have you ever been judged by the clothes you wear instead of the skills you carry? Stay with me because today's story proves that one moment can change an entire life. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Daddy Say Stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss another heartwarming story about hope, second chances, and unexpected miracles. The late afternoon sun reflected off the polished windows of Grantwood Financial Tower, where luxury cars lined the front entrance like trophies. Executives hurried in tailored suits while chauffeurs waited patiently beside expensive sedans. It was the kind of place where appearances meant everything. Across the street, a faded blue pickup truck slowly rolled into a visitor parking space. Daniel Carter climbed out carefully, brushing dust from his worn denim jacket. His boots had grease stains that never seemed to disappear, no matter how hard he scrubbed them. He glanced at his reflection in the truck window and smiled anyway. His 7-year-old daughter, Lily, leaned out from the passenger seat. "Dad, are you sure they'll let us park here?" Daniel chuckled. "I only need 5 minutes. Then we'll head to your school play rehearsal." Lily smiled brightly. She had complete faith in her father, even when the world didn't. Daniel had once owned one of the most respected auto repair shops in town. Customers drove for hours just to have him diagnose problems that other mechanics couldn't solve. Then tragedy struck. His wife, Emma, became seriously ill. Every dollar they had disappeared into hospital bills, treatments, medications, and travel expenses. Daniel sold his business, then his equipment, then even their family home trying to save her. Despite every sacrifice, Emma passed away 3 years earlier. Since then, Daniel had worked wherever he could find temporary repair jobs while raising Lily alone. Life had become a daily balance between earning enough money and being the father his daughter deserved. He never complained, because every evening Lily still smiled. That was enough. As Daniel walked toward the building, an expensive silver Porsche 911 suddenly rolled to a stop in front of the entrance. The engine sputtered, then died. The driver stepped out wearing a tailored white business suit. Sophia Bennett, 34 years old, founder and CEO of Bennett Technologies, one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the country. She frowned as she pressed the ignition button repeatedly. Nothing. Her assistant rushed over nervously. "Ms. Bennett, should I call roadside assistance?" Sophia sighed. "I have an investor meeting in 20 minutes. Several executives gathered nearby. Everyone offered advice. No one actually knew anything. Daniel paused. Years of experience told him something wasn't right just from hearing the engine. He quietly walked closer. "Excuse me." Everyone turned. One executive looked Daniel up and down before speaking. "This area is for employees." Daniel nodded politely. "I know. I just think I might be able to help." Several people laughed. Sophia folded her arms. "You repair Porsches." Daniel smiled. "I repair engines." One executive smirked. "If you can fix Ms. Bennett's Porsche right here, maybe she'll marry you." Laughter spread through the crowd. Sophia couldn't help smiling. Playing along, she looked at Daniel. "Sure." She laughed softly. "Fix my Porsche and I'll marry you." More laughter followed. Daniel simply nodded. "May I open the hood?" Sophia tossed him the keys. She expected 5 minutes of entertainment before the tow truck arrived. Daniel carefully lifted the hood. He ignored the whispers, ignored the laughter, ignored the expensive suits surrounding him. His focus belonged entirely to the engine. He listened, touched several components, smelled the air, then reached into his old pickup truck and returned carrying only a small flashlight and a screwdriver. People exchanged confused looks. No diagnostic computer. No expensive equipment. Daniel quietly smiled. Sometimes the engine tells you everything. Within seconds he spotted a loose electrical connector hidden beneath another component. Teeny. Almost invisible. A factory retaining clip had weakened over time. The connector vibrated loose, interrupting communication between the fuel system and engine control module. A rare issue, easy to miss. Daniel carefully reseated the connector, secured it temporarily using a small clip from his toolbox, closed the hood, then handed Sophia the keys. "Try it." She looked skeptical. Still smiling, she climbed inside, pressed the ignition. The Porsche roared to life instantly. Perfect idle. No warning lights. Silence filled the entrance. Every executive stared. The laughter disappeared. Sophia slowly stepped out of the car. "How?" Daniel shrugged. "I've seen something similar before." Her assistant whispered. "The dealership couldn't even diagnose that problem last month." Sophia looked at Daniel differently now. Not as entertainment, as someone extraordinary. "What do I owe you?" Daniel shook his head. "Nothing." She frowned. "You fixed a car worth more than most houses. You needed help. That's enough." Before she could say another word, Daniel checked his watch. "Oh no, Lily." He hurried toward his truck. His daughter waved excitedly from inside. Sophia watched them drive away. Something about the little girl laughing beside her father stayed with her long after they disappeared. The next morning, Sophia couldn't stop thinking about the encounter. She instructed her assistant. "Find him." Within hours they located Daniel through the temporary repair garage where he occasionally worked. Sophia visited personally. Daniel looked surprised. "Is something wrong with the Porsche?" She smiled. "No. I have another problem. Our company fleet spends hundreds of thousands every year on maintenance." He paused. "I'd like you to inspect our vehicles." Daniel hesitated. "I'm not really looking for contracts." She noticed his caution. "I'll pay double the market rate." Daniel quietly replied. "It's not about money." Sophia became curious. "What is it about?" "My daughter gets out of school at 3. I never miss picking her up." There was no hesitation in his voice. No apology. Just certainty. Sophia had spent years building billion-dollar companies. She couldn't remember the last time someone turned down a business opportunity because they wanted more time with family. Instead of insisting, she adjusted the offer. "Work whenever you want. Leave whenever you need." Daniel smiled. "That sounds fair." Over the following weeks, Daniel quietly transformed Bennett Technologies' vehicle maintenance program. He found mechanical problems that expensive specialists had overlooked, prevented costly breakdowns, reduced repair expenses dramatically. But what impressed employees most wasn't his talent. It was his kindness. He treated security guards with the same respect he gave executives. He remembered everyone's names. He fixed employees' personal cars after hours without charging them. Word spread quickly. People began seeking Daniel's advice about more than engines. He listened without judging. One afternoon Sophia found him repairing the old lawn mower used by the building maintenance crew. "You know, we could buy a new one." Daniel smiled. "This one still has plenty of life left." She laughed. "You say that about machines." Daniel tightened one final bolt. "I say that about people too." Those words lingered in Sophia's mind. Because despite all her success, she often felt broken herself. She had built an empire after growing up in poverty. Every victory required sacrifice. Relationships ended because work always came first. Trust became difficult. Most people wanted access to her wealth, not her heart. Daniel never asked for anything. Not favors. Not promotions. Not attention. For the first time in years, Sophia met someone completely genuine. One rainy evening, Sophia worked late preparing for an international acquisition. As she walked through the nearly empty parking garage, she noticed Daniel sitting inside his old pickup truck, the windshield fogged from the rain. He wasn't driving. He simply sat there quietly. Sophia knocked gently on the window. "You okay?" Daniel smiled weakly. "Lily's asleep." Sophia looked confused. He pointed toward the back seat. Wrapped in blankets, Lily slept peacefully. "My apartment lost power. We're waiting until they restore electricity." Sophia felt her chest tighten. She had spent millions decorating her penthouse. Meanwhile, this father refused to wake his daughter just because they had nowhere warm to go. Without hesitation, she spoke. "Come with me." Daniel immediately shook his head. "I appreciate it. But we'll be fine." Sophia smiled. "I'm not asking." An hour later, Lily was asleep in a guest room overlooking the city skyline. Daniel stood awkwardly in Sophia's luxurious kitchen. "I've never seen a refrigerator bigger than my bedroom." Sophia laughed harder than she had in months. That night they talked for hours. About dreams, family, failure. Oh, Daniel never pitted himself. Sophia never bragged about success. They simply spoke honestly. Felt effortless. Months passed. Their friendship deepened. Lily adored Sophia. Sophia found herself attending school plays, birthday parties, and weekend picnics. She experienced simple happiness that money could never purchase. One afternoon, Lily innocently asked, "Dad, do you think Mommy would like Sophia?" Daniel became emotional. Before he could answer, Sophia quietly reached across the table and held his hand. No words were needed. Not everyone welcomed Daniel's growing place in the company. Victor Hale, Bennett Technologies' chief operations officer, feared losing influence. He believed people like Daniel didn't belong in executive circles. Victor hired investigators. He searched Daniel's past, hoping to uncover something scandalous. He discovered Daniel had sold everything to pay for his wife's medical care. Victor twisted the story. He anonymously leaked headlines suggesting Daniel had declared bankruptcy because of financial irresponsibility. Social media exploded. Commentators mocked him. Investors questioned Sophia's judgment. Board members demanded explanations. Sophia called an emergency meeting. Everyone expected her to distance herself from Daniel. She projected every financial record onto the conference room screen. Hospital bills, property sales, business liquidation documents, donation receipts. She looked directly at every board member. This man sacrificed everything trying to save his wife. "Tell me, which part should embarrass him?" Silence. Then she added, "I've spent years evaluating character. I've never met anyone richer than Daniel Carter." The room erupted into applause. Victor quietly resigned 2 days later. Several weeks later, Sophia invited Daniel and Lily to a charity gala. The same executives who once laughed now greeted Daniel with admiration. Near the entrance stood the very Porsche that had started everything. Sophia smiled mischievously. "Do you remember what I said that day?" Daniel laughed. "You've made a lot of promises." "The Porsche." "Oh, you said." She interrupted playfully. "Fix my Porsche and I'll marry you." Daniel smiled. "I assumed you were joking." "I was." She looked into his eyes. "But I'm not joking now." The ballroom became strangely quiet as Sophia reached into her purse. Instead of removing jewelry, she pulled out the original Porsche key, placed it gently into Daniel's hand. "You fixed far more than my car. You reminded me that success means nothing without someone to share it with. You repaired my faith in people. You gave Lily another reason to smile. And somewhere along the way, you repaired my heart." She took a slow breath. "So, Daniel Carter, will you marry me?" Daniel stood speechless. Lily covered her mouth in surprise, then shouted loudly enough for the entire ballroom to hear. "Say yes, Dad." Everyone laughed through tears. Daniel knelt beside Lily first. "What do you think?" She hugged both of them tightly. "I think Mommy sent Sophia." Daniel looked back at Sophia, eyes filled with tears. "Yes. Absolutely yes." The room exploded with applause. 1 year later, Daniel reopened his own repair shop. Not because he needed the money. Because he wanted to teach young mechanics that honesty mattered more than profit. Sophia continued leading her company. But she never missed family dinners. Lily gained not only a loving stepmother, but also a best friend, and parked proudly inside Daniel's new garage. Still shining beautifully was the silver Porsche that changed 3 lives forever. Not because it was expensive, but because one simple joke became the beginning of a family. The greatest treasures are rarely found in bank accounts, luxury offices, or expensive cars. They are found in kindness, integrity, sacrifice, and the courage to help someone without expecting anything in return. People may judge your appearance, your job, or your circumstances, but character always reveals itself in time. Never underestimate the quiet person with worn-out clothes, because they may carry extraordinary gifts hidden beneath the surface. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to Daddy Say Stories, and share it with someone who believes kindness still exists. Remember, every great story begins with one unexpected moment, and sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change an entire life.